Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Peaky Blinders. This episode 5 of season 4. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the series so far. So, last episode was interesting. You know, it looked like the Italians were going to strike on Arthur. Do you remember earlier on in the seasons, he had a fight and he killed that lad in a boxing match when he couldn't control his anger? He tried to pay the mum off. She was fuming. She flipped the table. She said that the Shelbys have got to pay for the, the pain that they cause different families. And today, obviously, the Italians used her to lure Arthur to the house. Now, Tommy actually understood the situation and he read it and he kind of knew that it was going to be an ambush. So what he done is he set his own people up all around the city, watching and anticipating, obviously, attack. Arthur turned up, unarmed, went inside. Nobody was there at this party but him. The Italians did show up. They pulled up outside, got out the car, started having a cig. He was waiting, wondering, what's going on, like, why they're not attacking. And then he realised it was a decoy. The actual target was Michael. They went into the hospital. They shot the guard right outside of his cell. They went inside. LUCA Changretta himself put the gun right onto his head and pulled the trigger. Luckily for Michael, the clip was empty. And then he ended up leaving and saying, "Tell your mum that we accept the deal." Bit confused, Michael, don't know what's going on. But then Tommy and everybody come running in. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, yeah, I'm fine. They heard that he was coming and they ran. Tommy's a bit suspicious of that, but obviously they got to go and check it out. They're just happy that Michael's okay. Another interesting thing that happened in this episode is May turned up, she's got a new horse, called it Dangerous. Tommy's registering the papers. He's getting it obviously ready to race. She was going to stay the night, but she didn't end up doing it. She was saying, Tommy took her into like his distillery. He's making gin now, like he said, mate. He wants to start like distributing this. He's got loads of things going on. She was telling him that obviously this life's kind of like bad for him. He needs to kind of change, look at all the stuff that he's getting involved in. Alfie's come down as well. His big unit of a nephew, he's going to be the guy that Abraham Goldson's going to be fighting. And then we also got a really interesting story with Polly. She ended up reading the tea leaves of Lizette and saying that she's pregnant, and I'm assuming it's with Tommy's kid. Do you know what I mean? Very, very fascinating. So loads of chaos going on. I'm interested to see what the Italians have got in store for us today's episode. The final two, I'm expecting us to pop up, as well the finale. All of them have been amazing, and I think this is going to be a really good setup. We ended the episode with Tommy actually being followed by the Italians. He come out of the building, got in a car and drove off, and he was in the back of the car himself, and they followed him. And I said in the episode that if they're going to take Tommy out, it has to be in a natural situation. It can't be like Polly. She marked in his diary that he was free. Make sure you're free and go to this event alone. And then he goes there and there's an attack on his life. And he's going to know that Polly set that up, isn't it? I was saying that the best way to get him is like on the way to the garrison. Or if he's just walking down the road, somebody ambushes him. And this would be an ideal situation. He gets in his car, starts driving. Somebody chases after him while he's on his own and tries to attack him. It would make more sense because then if he does survive, he can't point the finger at somebody. So who knows what's going to happen. We seen Polly at the end obviously just smoking as they chased him. Very interesting. Thanks for watching today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. Tommy's quite smart and he reads situations, and it wouldn't surprise me if he knows that he's being tailed. Yeah, he knows it, look. Yo, look at that weapon. They're all in the open there. If he had some left in his clip, he could get them. Of course he was prepared, you know what I mean? He's usually good in these situations. Kind of annoys me how he chooses that matchstick, but it kind of fits his personality perfect. Oh, he's dead. That shadow really helped him then, didn't it?
Everyone stay indoors! Stay down! By all of the Peaky Blinders!
Started off really well, do you not think? I love it, mate. Straight into the action.
Which way? Which way did he go?
Upstairs. Oh, down. He's lying.
Sure.
Yeah. 1v1 scrap. Please.
Enough.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I'm a police officer, Tommy. I'm a fucking police officer, right? Doing my duty.
We're cleaning up.
No. Enough. Soldiers are coming.
That guy picked some money up. Did you see him though? The copper at the back picked the money up. Tommy threw it on the floor and he was like, mate, if he's not having it, fucking big payday for me. I'll take that, thank you. You know what I mean? Just come straight into the crazy chaos, didn't we? You know, he's there. I knew Tommy had read the situation. He read it last episode when he was inviting Arthur, you know, to the party. He knew that it was going to be a setup. He knew that he was being tailed, obviously, and the action has just started. You just had like 10 minutes of all-out gunfighting. You love to see it. Tommy managed to take 3 of them out. They didn't manage to kill, well, anyone was just going after Tommy, weren't they? And he didn't manage to even hit him. Now, obviously, Luca and him was going to fight at the end, just them two, which I would have liked to see, actually. It's called the Duel, so that would have been pretty decent. Just them two, kind of like Western style, where they both stood there with the guns at the side and who could draw it quicker. That would be really cool to see. But it was a good scrap, I liked it. Tommy had his back against the wall and he managed to actually survive. You know, the guy was right who was speaking to Luca. Tommy knows this place more than us. He knows the streets, he knows the shortcuts, and he knows how to dip and duck in between buildings. We don't, you know. You might think we have him cornered, but he could be way gone by now. He could have jumped buildings, he could be hiding. Best for us to retreat and come back another day. They had him and they totally messed it up. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't tailing him close enough. He managed to park up and run upstairs and get on the balcony and shoot them with that that gun before they could even realise that he wasn't even in his vehicle. So that was a crazy start, and I'm actually like shocked that he wasn't one single Peaky Blinder around. Even you know, Finn, has he not got his house up there now in that little place? Do you know what I mean? I'm surprised he wasn't there to help him.
Do you know, I remember the very first time you headbutted a policeman. After you got your OBE from the King, I didn't think there'd be a next time.
What the fuck happened today, Tom? We all heard shooting in Artillery Square.
Yeah, there was. Today I killed 3 men.
And I gave Tommy up.
Because that was the plan that Polly and I agreed on.
Okay.
I knew that Luca would want to pull the trigger himself. So I used the setup as bait to bring him in.
So you got 3?
Yeah, I got 3.
Well, I'll drink to you, Tom, you mad bastard.
Dad, you got 3 what?
3 shillings for a 2-shilling horse, my boy.
It was interesting that actually. Do you know what? Been slagging Polly off. I have been saying that, mate. She needs to die. If she set him up, led him to the slaughter, she needs to go. But it's part of the plan, so you got to respect it. And I'll rescind my, my threat or whatever you got to call it. Big up Polly and Tommy for coming up with that plan. You know, they didn't get Luca, but they did manage to get 3. So that's 5. We've seen, obviously, Arthur kill 2, Tommy 3. They're going down by the numbers.
Want a drink, Lizzie?
Okay.
I've had a hard day.
I don't drink whiskey or gin anymore, Tom. They say it harms the baby.
Look at him.
Have a seat, Lizzie. All right, I know a woman, Lizzie.
I know lots of women, Tommy. If you don't know this already, you don't know me. I'm keeping it.
You better put a fucking advert in the paper then.
I'm not laid up yet.
I'm not going to work with a child of mine, I tell you. I've got 3. One of them point blank, Lizzie. And he looked up at me.
That's the game you're in, though, isn't it? That is the game you're in. You put him out of his misery and left
Get
him.
an allowance every week from the company. Business is booming.
I'm just looking.
Fuck.
Linda!
Arthur, you scared me to death.
Linda!
You're drunk. Again.
I'm drunk again.
Come to bed, Arthur.
No fucking way.
You've never eaten hedgehog, Michael?
You're number 2 on Luca Changreta's hit list.
Yeah, and I'll stay in a hotel.
You stay in a hotel. I'll know where you are. So will the people who take you there. They don't even know where they'll be tomorrow. Take your medicine. Take the gun.
He wasn't at that meeting, was he, Michael? Michael wasn't at that meeting before where they announced that obviously Polly and Tommy had that agreement in principle. Do you know what I mean? That she would hand him over. That maybe Michael doesn't actually know that, so like he still might think that his mum's done dirty on him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't I look like royalty?
Well, now that you mention it, you do.
I've been cooped up in Small Heath too long. I can smell spring in the air. Do you no longer way back, Mr. Gold?
Do you have time for this?
Is it a book?
It is a buck.
And when the police were after him, my dad used to take us out. Be gone for days, living on what he caught.
The family were healers.
Yeah, a long time ago. Came back when I put my head in the noose. It's like putting your head through a window and seeing the whole world. Now give me the knife.
She has had an interesting season, Polly. She started off looking like she was crazy, didn't she? Well, I thought she looked like it.
Whenever the mood takes me. And you are a strong, handsome man. And this is a beautiful place in the world. Let me make one thing clear, Mr. Gold. I just gave Michael a little speech about how no one would know where to find him.
But I do.
But you'd know how to get him. If any harm comes to Michael, you shall have me as your enemy.
He's low-key fuming that it's not Sansa, though. You know, we dropped Sabini's name in this season, but we haven't seen him once.
My little cousin was born blind. I now donate a considerable sum of money to a charity which gives dogs with eyes to blind Jews. What time is it?
29 minutes past 8.
Right. Well then, I have another minute to go actually, but you can begin. Go on.
I'm LUCA Changrana.
Oh yeah, I know who you are.
3, 2, 1.
How can I help you?
I solo 10 secondi, a pazienza, mi stavo bucando.
Luca, il tu fatta così, E non abbiamo bisogno, aiuto.
Hey, you know, they say you're a smart guy. You already know what we want before we say it. I know what you want, even before you say it. Io penso che sto buffone, vuole caccia puttana, un rom, e contrabbando.
Damn fucking straight, mate. Otherwise, you'd still be thieving my oxygen, would you?
People want gin these days.
The exit is still out there, right, on Body Street. Tommy Shelby is a very, very good friend of mine.
1300.
Total is down there in black and white.
I have people that I trust, okay? So you're gonna take my boys and you're gonna bring them to the ring in seconds.
In order to qualify as my seconds, right, they would first have to qualify as being Jewish.
A lot of the, you know, the Jewish peoples, they, having to pass themselves off as Italian.
Right, well, you will have to add another ton onto your bill for being a cunt.
Any other requests, huh? 200 fucking barrels. We have a deal. Just so we have a deal.
I feel like he's got to
Hey,
deal
you
with
just
Tommy.
made a deal without negotiation, didn't you? Yeah, Tommy Shelby was right about you, wasn't he? Yeah, Hagen and
Yo, that was really good, actually. Do you reckon that Tommy fed him some information last episode when he went down to speak to him? You know, when he was stood around his gin? That was very interesting. I absolutely love Alfie, me. Like I said, I've said it. You could probably go back and check whatever seasons he started and check the scenes that he's in. But I'll be consistent and say that every scene that he's in is so good. Honestly, it really is. His acting's amazing. He's so intimidating. He makes you smile. He makes you, like, know something's going down. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really interesting. He asked for 1,400, 200 barrels of rum being taken over. Luca Changrana accepted it in the end after, you know, like, him saying this and that. And then he said, well, hang on, you know what I mean? You just made a deal without even bargaining. You know what I mean? You didn't even try and counter it on nothing. Tommy was right. You'll accept it, you do all this, and then in the end, you'll just take us out. So, like I just said a minute ago, I do feel like he may have got a deal with Tommy himself, and he's already pre-warned him of this situation. Tommy's anticipated all the different avenues that Luca could actually get to him, and he's already making plans to obviously go there and give that information out and put his own, obviously, like, thing in motion.
She was armed when we picked her up, sir, so we strip searched her.
That'll be all.
Yes, sir.
Territorials can be overzealous. I have a dossier on each member of your family. I know your family's extraordinary history.
Fuck you.
3 days ago, you were seen at a meeting for the Stetchford Communist Party. You were then seen talking to a woman called Jessie Eden.
I'm leaving. And you can burn this. So you've arrested me because I had a drink with Jessie Eden. I met Jessie Eden to settle an industrial dispute.
You must understand that these are extraordinary times. Soldiers on the streets very soon. They're already drilling. A woman with her foot in both camps. Potentially very useful.
Useful to who?
Maybe you should ask your brother Thomas.
Talk to me about Colonel Ben Younger.
You're in my chair.
He said you knew about it.
I was an officer in the Warwickshire Yeomanry in Flanders. The arrest was so the neighbours would see and word would go around. He's been given Birmingham by Churchill, by the fucking king, by people who want to stop a revolution.
Of course, I'm sorry. Tommy Shelby is going to stop the revolution with his cock.
It's not her the military are interested in, it's the people around her. Because I've been offered 3 5-year contracts to supply military vehicles to the British forces. £2 million.
2 million quid, mate. What is that in today's money? Probably like 200 million.
In your factory because Jesse Eden will be in your bed. Tommy, this can only happen if you're still alive.
Planning on staying alive.
She'll end up helping him, but mate, £2.5 million, yeah. In what year is this? Like 1920 or something? Did they say? That has got to be some ridiculous money if you transferred it into today's. Do you know what I mean? Like, they give people £5 to work like a whole week here, and they're absolutely loving life, feeling like the rich as anything. So do you know what I mean? These would be like one of the richest people in the whole entire world, mate. It's crazy, and it's them that come and offered it him. Which, do you know what I mean? He's the one that said, why not? It wasn't him going out there. They come with the proposition. So basically, his plan is to go and seduce her, or basically extract information about the people that are potentially going to cause all the uproar. Do you know what I mean? And then what he wants to do is give the names, and they'll come in and they'll take them away. Take the people that are causing the biggest and loudest, you know, like commotion, and take that away so that it's not really a little thing and it's just a couple of heads here and there moaning, and then it'll die down and the revolution won't happen. That's the plan anyway. That's what they're hoping will happen.
Jesse, this is my Uncle Charlie and my whatever Curly is.
This is actually lovely.
We were just wondering if you'd like some music.
No, we won't. Actually, Jesse likes music.
Don't I get a choice?
Want an opinion? That's right.
Too sweet.
Don't really drink gin.
Then you're perfect. My gin is for women that don't really drink gin.
To the revolution.
To the revolution.
Why not? Wage cuts withdrawn. Parity between men and women guaranteed. You can instruct your members to return to work tomorrow.
And all I have to do in return is tell you everything I know about socialism.
I'm approaching the current political crisis as I would approach a horse race, assessing the runners and the riders. Now, the favourite is, of course, the King's horse. So before I place a bet on who's going to win, I need to know how strong they are, how serious they are.
Your concern is that if the unthinkable happened, you would find yourself on the wrong side of the barricades. Man I love couldn't speak when he got back. Men who blew the whistles in France are our enemy.
And you count yourself among those who want a real fight.
You've never been a friend to the government. They've used you. And I imagine you have found out already that no amount of money allows you to pass through the steel sheets that separate class from class.
There are some popular records, mostly romantic.
He's a sound Curly, innit?
So we're going to dance?
He loves a little dance.
I think so.
Do you know what the best way to approach this situation with her is to be totally honest? Did the war change it? Yeah, it did. Did you used to believe in the fight? I did. I don't anymore. People like her, people who want a revolution, like, they need, not facts, but they need to know that honesty is being spoken to them. And, like, I feel like the more he opens up, the more she can read his personality and like, determine whether he's BSing her or not. Do you know what I mean? And, like, she could determine a better outcome of the situation. Now, what I've noticed with Tommy, when he puts a cig in his mouth, yeah, he moves it across his whole mouth and then smokes it. I don't know. Like, every time he does it, I don't see anybody else do it in the show, but every time he puts it in, he does that and then he smokes it.
When I showed you that photo of Greta Drossi, your face changed.
She wanted everything to be different. The whole world. Right, fast or slow?
Let's be slow. I should just sit, I'm drunk.
Do you reckon he's got his business head on? I feel like he has. He knows everything that he's doing. He's still kind of going to his plan right now. Interesting. Did she accept his offer or what?
Get over here, you lazy bastard. Here, what's all that?
Yo, he's on that fucking coke constantly.
Mr. Shelby. Right. Lock it all down. Gentlemen, now you listen to me. You put all your money on the gold. You hear me? It's fucking fight night. Bring out that fucking tiger, eh? Go on.
Tiger's already out.
Fair enough.
Mr. Shelby will give you a 20% cut if you put Goliath down in the 4th round.
Been caged up too long, brother.
Proper crowd that. Look how many people are up there. Do you know what? I thought it was going to actually start and then maybe like the scene Alfie and the Italians and then it'd finish. Do you know what I mean? But no, it's just Alfie coming in there. I don't know if it's trying to make us think, oh, is Alfie going to do something to Tommy? Because obviously, I feel like last episode, Tommy and Alfie discussed the Italians, you know, Luca coming and doing a proposition towards him. That's why he was kind of like hostile when he come and speak to him, obviously at his place. He had his eyes shut for like the first couple of minutes that he was there, proposed an offer. He said, mate, you know, Tommy was right. You're just going to come and kill all of us. So I feel like he's on Tommy's side, but I never know how to read Alfred, to be honest, because you think that he's doing one thing and then you watch the episode and he totally does the opposite. Do you know what I mean? Like, just that time where he tried to get Arthur killed when he was cutting a deal back with Sabine. He just jumps in whatever side helps him. I know he wanted 200 barrels of rum being transported over to New York. Can Tommy not do that? Do you know what I mean? He's sending stuff over there, but he's saying that they kind of want gin, didn't they? He's saying that they wanted gin, that's why he's making his own. Now, what I thought was interesting is, obviously, everybody's been trying it here, and they've been saying it's too sweet, it's too sweet. But then, when Alfie come and tasted it, he said it's not sweet enough. The Americans want it sweeter. That's what he said anyway when he came over. So I thought that was interesting. But obviously we're going to start the episode, well, the next one, I'm assuming, straight in to this boxing match. The way we started this episode after the last one. Tommy was being tailed one day, he's being followed, and we didn't mess about. We started this episode with that big all-out shootout at the start. Tommy killed 3 of them. You know, Luca managed to get away. It looked like he was going to duel, like the episode was called. And then obviously the police come in, and they all had to like dispersed, didn't there? Tommy told the coppers obviously what happened. We've had the soldiers come in and obviously looked like they arrested Ada in front of everybody, but it was kind of at the orders of Tommy. He said that pretty much he had to make it look like all the neighbours could see what was happening, like he was actually getting arrested. And obviously he's saying that they've come and given him a proposition that they want him to obviously transport armoured vehicles to all these different countries for 2.5 million quid, mate. That is crazy, absolutely madness. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, the only short seasons, aren't there? It's going to be the finale next episode, episode 6. I feel like it goes just like that, me. So I expect it to be a good one. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy it. So we just seen there, Tommy and Jesse Eden sat down, had a meal, danced together, and obviously they were talking business. Now, obviously, he was saying that pretty much he wants, well, he was saying to Ada that he wants to get in a good books. He wants her to accept the offer, the proposition that he obviously laid down. And then, obviously, he wants her to feed him names of people that are potential problems, people that are obviously, you know, like rising the public up and obviously engaging them, getting them going, and he wants to get them names and he wants to hand them over so that the obviously the soldiers could come in and they could stop obviously the revolution. So that's interesting. Now obviously Tommy ended up dancing with her, and you know, she was saying, are you going to join us? Now he never really said no, but he said that, you know, set up a meeting and I'll come to this location or whatever. So it's going to be exciting to see. He had a conversation as well. He found out that he's having a kid, didn't he? You know, Lizzie did tell him. Now, he told her that, you know, she's not going to work anymore. She's going to have to get an advert in the paper, get somebody else working. He's going to get her covered, you know, make sure she's on the payroll, get her a new house. And then that was pretty much all we seen of her all episode. Now, interestingly, we didn't really see much of Arthur this episode as well, to be honest. All we did see of him is he's hardcore on the cocaine. He literally is. I think every scene that he was in, he was sniffing it, wasn't he? He was getting drunk as well. He went into the safe. There was loads of money there. I thought he left it open for somebody to come in and rob, to be honest, but that didn't happen. But he ended up going home, falling on the floor, speaking to Linda. He was saying, tell me what you told me this morning. Go on, Linda. Tell me what you told me this morning. And she said, we'll be back home or something, back in the garden before, I don't know, the next winter or something. Do you know what I mean? Like before the next harvest, we'll be back there. And he's like, it's interesting that he's actually missing his little farm life. You know, earlier on in the season, I was saying that Polly and Michael, you know, if they were setting up Tommy, then they deserve to get killed or something happening to them. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't throw your family under the bus, you don't make deals with the devil, and do you know what I mean? You don't try and save your own ass by getting your family killed. But, you know, I rescinded that when obviously we found out that that was part of their plan. Really clever, actually. You know, she was feeding Tommy information and obviously using Luca as well. And that is actually what kind of saved his life when he chased after him. So you got respect it, mate. Like I said, Tommy's quite smart and he recognises the different situations and how people are going to react in certain ones. And he's always trying to get a plan in motion. So that was exciting. You know, I've got to, like, I'll apologise, obviously, to her. Now, Michael, he's been handed over to, you know, to Abraham and Gold, well, and they've handed it back over to like the Lisa Gypsies, and they're on the way. Pretty much, he was saying he wants to stay in a hotel, and she was like, nah, mate, you know, if you're in a hotel, we know where you are, he knows where you are, maids know, people who took you there. At least now, when you're here, you know, you haven't got a phone. We don't know where you're staying. Night by night, you move to different locations, you're always on the move. It's going to be hard to get caught, which I have to agree, that is totally true. So gonna be interesting, mate. You know, Luca Changa said to you know, he said to Alpha that he wanted the Italians to walk as his seconds to the ring. He said that Tommy's gonna know unless he come in and he's circumcised and all these different things that he was saying anyway. And he knows that they're not Jewish. Tommy will know, but is he gonna? He's pretty much adamant though that's gonna happen. That they're gonna be seconds. So is it? Who knows? We did see that Alfie just walking in there and then it cut, didn't it? Like that. We didn't see who was following him, and obviously we've not seen the ring entrances yet. So next episode, hopefully, it's going to be good. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.